Welcome back, everybody. This is Artosis bringing you some CasterMuse Star League Season 4. This is from the round of 8. It is a match that is a best of 5, and it is between Free, our Protoss players, one of the original 6 dragons. He's been doing better in ASL recently and really coming back into his old form. Going up against... you know him, you love him. It's Light, the second best Terran in the world to flash. Just an absolute god. Every Terran in the world looks up to this guy. A complete and absolute monster. Now, taking a look at the match here, like, I feel like Light is favored. I mean, this guy is just so strong, right? Like, hitting top 4 in ASLs and, you know, just being such a monster, ASL, KSL, whatever. All the online matches he's done so well in, and just, he's brilliant. You know, I don't know, I'm almost tripping over my words here because Light is such a strong player. But yeah, I mean, he is definitely somebody that I would look at and say, you know, I think he can win basically every single tournament that he's in, especially considering this particular tournament doesn't have Flash in it, which is really probably his #1 kryptonite. But we'll see how it goes, right? You can't underestimate Free. Free is... to be honest, I've never been a big fan of Free's Protoss vs. Terran. It's never looked particularly strong to me. I've always been a fan of his Protoss vs. Zerg. He definitely looks very, very good in that matchup. So, we'll just see what he can get done. Now, taking a look at it, this is Ringing Bloom, and as you can see, right, you have the Overmind Cocoons. These are just here to allow Zerg to create some sunken colonies to help defend their ramp. You got the couple eggs here just to make the ramp smaller in case you need to do something like block it with Zealots. But mostly it's just, this becomes a wall for Terran, and Protoss just kind of ignores that area. And this is definitely a map, because of the back natural, where you see a lot of fast expanding. So here we see Light going Command Center first. And over on Free's side, we see him going Nexus first. So both of them doing the absolute greediest openers that they possibly can. And you shouldn't really be surprised to see that at all. From the Protoss side, Nexus first is almost completely unpunishable on this map. And as far as the Command Center goes for Light, I mean, unless you're making a gateway in the center of the map, he's probably good to go with it. You're not likely to really do damage to him. So he'll be happy when he scouts what this is. In fact, he's actually scouting Free first. So he's going to see, oh, you know what? I don't even really need a bunker that quickly. This is a really greedy opener from Free, and it's what Light expected, and it's what's occurred. So he should be pretty happy with that. Now, Free, unfortunately for him, going to scout Light last, and when he gets there, there's a wall. So he can't really honestly even tell what's going on unless Light builds like factories really close to the wall, and maybe his probe can see it, but that's not likely. So definitely Light, I would say, has a little bit of an edge here in the early game. Now, I'm excited to see what he actually does with this particular build order against Nexus first. I've definitely seen Light in the past occasionally go for very strong timing pushes when playing against Nexus first with his own fast expansion. Things like 4 factory pushes, but because it's Ringing Bloom, I'm not entirely sure that that's doable. If you're going for a fast push, a lot of times you're going to just barely bust the Nexus at the natural expansion of the Protoss, but that would be on the low ground. Here, that's not the case, right? Like, we see that it's up a ramp, so that makes it incredibly much harder to actually push. By the way, this is a newer version of Ringing Bloom. I actually have not seen this one yet. A gas here at the third base on the ramp, so that's kind of cool to see. Definitely different. You can see on both sides. Now, a proxy robo from Free. Oh my god, is Light actually going to scout this? Oh my god, he's so close. Oh my, I feel like I'm watching StarCraft 2, not StarCraft 1. This is an extremely rare situation. You almost never see a proxy just barely being dodged out like that, but amazing for Free. Now, Free comes up and actually attacks with 2 Zealots and a Dragoon here. The Marines actually put a lot of damage onto the Zealots as opposed to the Dragoon, which has allowed the Dragoon to actually do fantastically here against those Marines. Also catching the Marines as they pop out of the barracks. This is the only position where the Marines have to pop out on the outside of the wall. But of course, he does have a siege tank coming, which will push us back. But you know what? That was very effective anyways. Just to force this much repair time, this lost mining time, as well as killing off the, what was it, 3 or 4, I think it was about 4 Marines so far. That's really going to weaken anything that Light wants to do. Like if Light wanted to do a little push out, right? He doesn't have Marines to buffer for his tank anymore. So a really strong move there from Free. Now, looking over at Light, he does have the engineering bay. He's making an armory. This is all pretty common what we're seeing here. Okay, he's going to throw down a turret here. That's actually a really well placed. It blocks shuttles coming in the side, but also detects for Dark Templars. So that's actually I'm going to steal that placement. That's great. No turrets going up at the natural yet, so he definitely doesn't really know about the proxy robo, which is just making observers right now. Not what I expected. But the speed and mine vultures running out, throwing down some mines and running past. Now, the ramp is plenty blocked here, as we see. There is a Nexus going down at the third base. He's going to go ahead and lay a few mines, do a bit of harassment here, but shouldn't be able to get too much done with this. Vultures don't kill buildings very quickly at all. Free, in the meantime, going up to 4 gateways, getting his Citadel up here before 7 minutes. Looking really strong on his build. Oh, Light is going up to 4 facts. Looks like he wants to go to 5 as well. Does have that natural gas flowing, does have +1 going. And with that 5 facts, this really does look like it's going to be a timing push. This doesn't at all look like it will be... Oh my god, he has 3 SCVs stuck behind his minerals. But anyways, this doesn't look like it's going to be like a macro build of any type. This definitely looks like it's going to be highly aggressive. Now, he does push 2 of the SCVs out, but that's really annoying for Light. You know, he's got this very tight Sim City going on, and unfortunately for him, he loses an SCV to it. Very, very rough indeed. Now, oh my god, he actually was out in the middle with some tanks. It looks like one will get picked off. Sorry for missing that, but the mines hit the goons. He's going to be able to finish this one very easily. This one could be killed as well, but no, the reinforcements coming up here from Free, and the Vulture's going to run off. Now, Free is on 3 bases, adding a ton of gateways. It looks like, in fact, he's going to be going gateway man here. This is, look, he's already got 6, 7, 8, and like 9 gates are going to be going with just speed and Dragoons, Zealot leg speed, right? So that's just like a lot of gateway units that he's going to use to try to beat this with pure force. Now, because that's happening, if Light transitions this now into a 3rd base, I think that becomes a much better play. If your opponent is willing to make this many gates and just pump units on 3 bases, it's hard to imagine the Terran breaking it successfully. Like, Light does have a strong army, there's no doubt, but are you going to be able to fight through 9 gates with your 6 facts? It's possible. If you win the first engagement, yeah, you definitely can. You can rally down Vultures. They're a great reinforcement tool if you kept 5, 6 tanks alive. But honestly, right now, he's got 6 tanks. 7th is out. He's going to have 8 tanks in the push. Is this going to be enough? Right now, Free is up in supply. He's got 5 more probes, which puts him up about 22 army supply. It's somewhat significant, but the Terran army definitely has a lot of micro to it, right? Like a lot of play. You can definitely get a lot of value out of it. Now, let's see. The army that Free has, yeah, no, I'm liking this for Free right now. Light cannot bust that. He needs an entire another group of Vultures. He needs like 12 more Vultures to beat this army. And you see he is microing back right now, getting as many free shots as possible. Okay, here comes another group of Volts, but they're actually behind the tanks. I'm making it hard to actually micro the tanks right now. Zealots running up, getting on top of absolutely everything. A lot of damage being dealt to the tanks as well as the Goliaths, and Free continues to push forward here against Light. Light losing 5 of his siege tanks at the beginning of this. Now, some great mine hits there for Light, but the thing is, Free doesn't really care about that. Reducing siege tanks is far more powerful than reducing Dragoon counts. And you can see Light, oh man, he is losing so many of those very important siege tanks. goes down to just a single one left over. He will end up cleaning up the army, so maybe at the end there, Free being a little bit too aggressive. But definitely that was good for Free. I like his position after all of that, right? He can just continue to reinforce with these very basic units. He just like, oh, you're down in goons? Okay, you make goons. You're down in zealots? Okay, you make zealots. Whereas you look at the Terran side, it's like, okay, you had 8 tanks. Tanks increment out. You can't just make a round of only tanks out of all your factories. No, I mean, you're making 2 at a time. So it's going to be 4 more minutes before you remake those 8 tanks. It makes it rough for Light, and he has to sit in a more defensive stance now. He's throwing down a turret. He's going to start running some vultures around, right? Lay some mines, get some scouting done, maybe try to pressure against Free. And he is going up to continue his upgrades forward, but I mean, it's even going to be hard just holding on. Look at this supply differential once again. We're up 30 supply right now for Free, and the siege tank count is not that high. He doesn't have that many buildings. Okay, he lands a barracks. Very good land right there, but Free going to push forward. I think this is actually a little bit wasteful from Free. Light should be able to hold this here, but Free deciding he can push forward. And in fact, he picks off the first 2 tanks relatively quickly. He picks off the third as well. Some mines going down, trying to keep him back. But Light, oh my God, is he going to be able to hold with these mines and the few tanks left over? Some decent mine connections overall. 2 more tanks coming, and a big round of zealots streams forward. Oh God, Light in some trouble here. He needs his reinforcing units ASAP. Free pushing forward and kills them off. The command center finishes and he lifts off. I don't think he's going to lose the command center, but this is not good. He's now lost all of his siege tanks 2 times. And that's like 2 times too many, to be perfectly honest. Free in a dominating position right now. You can see his supply hasn't really moved, whereas Light's continues to fall. He's about 20 supply down from where he was at, but we're still at that approximately 130 from Free. Now, Free is being a little bit too much Protoss for himself right now, trying to push up that ramp. Yeah, time to turn around. Slowing this down would actually be the best move for Free to end up closing this game out. Light has upgrades going, right? He's got 2 on the way. It's a little bit slow. He's got a drop ship. He has his 3rd command center made. That's it, man. Nothing else. He's got like a vulture on the map and a few mines. Not much is going on for him. Now, Free, he's got a ton of gates. He's getting some upgrades, and he's getting Size Storm, so he is increasing the quality of his army as well. Now, a vulture drop into the back. Free actually doesn't even have a single cannon. Even 1 cannon here would be really, really helpful. But, you know, he's playing kind of a very aggressive game and a pretty greedy game as well, so doesn't have that there. This vulture drop actually doing fantastic work. Look at the number of kills here. He had 6, 7, 8 kills on these vultures, laying some mines, so he's going to be able to pick off some units. Lost mining time as well, so just an excellent vulture drop. Definitely wants to get out with that dropship, and he will do so. So a nice little drop there. In the meantime, Light at home, getting ready to try to retake this base. Now, a huge amount of the army came back to clear out the vulture drop, so this is actually a perfect timing for him to come down this ramp and try to push into his 3rd base again. Looking at Free, he has his 4th base up. Still looking very, very strong. Up 30 supply still, which has been kind of the average for this game. And, you know, 30 supply is a lot, but you can hold on as Terran. Now, this is kind of a newer style that we've been seeing, the High Templars mixed in. Some Size Storms on these Vultures could help him to bust this army very, very quickly. Okay, you see Light actually pulled the Vultures all to the side. That first Size Storm, not as strong as Free meant for it to be. Now, Free losing all of his Zealots in a matter of seconds. And when the Zealots are gone, the Dragoons should get absolutely splattered. Look at this, running forward, picking off these High Templars. Very nice hold there from Light. A lot of that was in just pulling the Vultures to the side and not allowing the Size Storms to just shred them apart. Because if the Vultures stay alive, you can kill the Zealots very, very quickly. But Free is still all right. He's still got that big supply lead. He's got his 4 bases. It looks like he's going to be setting up a 5th. And this 1 mine. Look at what this 1 mine is doing. He would have built the Nexus. Instead, he's making cannons and a gateway. So, really nice play there from Light. But in the meantime, another attack in here from Free that actually... Oh, he ends up getting 2 tanks at the very last second. That almost got nothing at all. A great defense matrix going off. But it looks like, ooh, he pushes forward and kills the Science Vessel. Kind of a crazy game here right now. So much aggression coming out of Free. Light now with the counter push. I mean, he's got good production again. 4 factory Vulture, 2 factory Siege Tank, but I don't think he can actually push against this many gateways. His critical mass just isn't there. If he had another 12 Vultures with this, yeah, I think he can get to the natural and set something up. But he just does not, so he has to be very careful or he's going to end up losing this army. A lot of gateways here. Was this 4, 8, like, I don't know, 11 gates? 11 gates or so right now. 4th base coming for Light. Oh, this is a very forward base. Okay, so this makes some sense from Light, actually. This is a daring position. He's spreading out. He's going to just try to hold on. I think he knows that Free is going to bludgeon into him soon, so you may as well set this up as defensively as possible. In fact, he even sieges a tank that can hit the minerals here, which is fantastic. But if he can hold this position, this game suddenly becomes Light favored because it's guarding this base, it's guarding this base, and it's guarding his main. So all of that put together, absolutely fantastic. In fact, he's even floating his command center where Light, such a strong player, going to take another base before these last little mineral patches are even eaten up. All right, he's setting this up, throwing down the missile turrets, spreading those tanks just beautifully, laying out some mines. We saw those Vultures run down before. Certainly they were picking off some High Templars. The 1 siege tank putting a clock here on this Nexus. But look at the army of Free. Free right now getting close to maxing out. Light moving a single tank to the side to deal with this 5th base. Absolutely. I'm getting chills. He is playing so well, but the army of Free is gigantic. Let's see if Light can hold on. A huge attack coming up. The spread is helping him so much. The Size Storms not finding as much damage as they usually do. And it looks like he should break through Light's line. Even though Light has these 2-2 upgrades, Free's macro has been out of control. A good mine hits there, and maybe he just... No, the Zealot's gonna run up and drag through those mines, kill off these last 2 siege tanks. And in the meantime, oh my god, there's a Dark Templar with 8 kills in his mineral line. Not much left here for Light. He does have this base up. You know, he's done some things. Not a lot of minerals left here, not a lot of minerals left here. He denied mining here for a little bit. This is really healthy. Maybe this siege tank ends up killing this base. I'm not entirely sure. That would be really weird, though. But I tell you, Light is fighting tooth and nail here. It's getting worse. Look at this supply differential. 84 to 136. A lot of this game has been around 100 to 130. But you have to consider as well that Light's SCV count has fallen dramatically, so his army count is actually still similar to what it was before. Now he is trying to get some stuff done here with these Vultures, getting a lot of mines, picking off some expensive units as well, but unfortunately, the 5th Nexus is up. There's not that many mines on the map anymore. We have one here, we have one down here. Light needs to make something else happen. But what's happening right now is Free walking up across the map, getting ready to attack. Light is setting up a big defensive position. This base is naked, and honestly, this base is naked as well. He's kind of banking on Free being like aggressive towards his main army because, yeah, you can see as the observer comes up, Light just sends his SCVs out. He lifts his command center. He knows there's absolutely no way to hold on to that base. So right now, this army, I feel like he's getting ready to attack, but I don't see a real need to right now. I think if he just denies this expo a few times, look, and you can see too, he's like sending these back, floating it back out. The army's coming, so he runs away. But yeah, look, now this observer's scouting out this base as well for Light. This is coming to a head right now. Light does not have a big enough army for this, and he needs these bases. It's incredibly crucial. Side Storm comes down as those Vultures run forward. Zealot's spilling over the bridge. Not the most cost-effective way to attack, so Free does, in fact, back up. Nothing special going on for Light. I mean, he's got great upgrades, 3-2. But really nothing else going on right now. Free. 170 supply. Could take another Nexus, to be honest. Like, I think that's the one move that he needs to do before, excuse me, really committing to any more attacks or anything like that. Yeah, he throws down a Nexus right there. And I think at this point, Free has basically gained so much control of this game that he needs to decide what the next aggressive move is. Do you put more pressure on Light by pecking up more like Arbiters or Carriers? I don't think that's the best play. I think massing up and hitting an edge, like deny this space over and over, deny this space over and over, and you should be able to take it. Now, hold on. Light actually getting some counter harass done, sending these Vultures in, killing off a good amount of probes. But this might trigger Free to attack. He's got to know that he's way higher in army supply. In fact, he's up 84 army supply, and some of this army is over here for Light. So it's hard to imagine Free not being able to kill him, even with a great spread like this. Look at that Zaw count. He's got 4 high templars in the shuttle, 3 more on the ground right there. A decent amount of goons, even an Archon. For some reason, probably a couple high templars are about to be picked off. And Light is moving forward. He knows he has to retake this base, but as he moves on top of these mines, honestly, an attack move here would finish this game. An amazing EMP there. He hits all 3 high templars. Excuse me. Don't forget, though, we do have 3 more in this shuttle. All right, Light continuing to push forward. I think right now he's just hoping that Free actually runs away. But here we go. Free going to attack in. Sending all of his Zealots forward. He does have double Defense Matrix tanks. There's mines here, though, and they might get dragged. Oh, they do indeed. Psy Storms as well as mine drags. That's it. Free gonna win game number 1.